My coworker comes in today and she tells me that over the weekend, her son and her son's wife and their friend's wife all had a little couples date or whatever in down in Peoria. Peoria is on the west side of Phoenix, if you don't know. But she says, yeah, they're all having dinner, and then after dinner, one of the wives suggested to the friend, oh, we should go to a gay bar. And they asked the waiter, is there any gay bars around here in Peoria? And the lady says, no, the closest one is in like Scottsdale. And I interviewed and I said, BS West. And she goes, what? She goes, how do you know about the gay bar? I said, let me tell you something. I've been to pretty much all the gay bars in the valley. Charlie's, BS West. But anyways, all right, let me just say this here first. There's no reason why two married couples, if that should be going to the gay bar, because there's only two types of guys that go to the gay bar, and that's straight men and gay men. Maybe if you're a couple and you're swingers, sure, but I don't see a married couple and then another married couple having fun at a gay bar. I just don't see it. Anyways, back around 2013, I worked in a restaurant up in North Scottsdale, and me, my friend Marcos, and then our other friend who was our gay friend, who were good friends with him. He used to do this drag show at BS West in Scottsdale called Drag Wars. It was called Drag Wars like in Star Wars typography, but it would say Drag Wars. And he used to come up and be like, he'd tell everybody, at the place, hey, come support me at Drag Wars, come and cheer for me, or that's how the drag thing works. So me and Marcos were like, yeah, you know what? We'll go, whatever. So yeah, he comes and of course he asks us, hey, do you want to come with me? He would talk to us like this, Queen, hey Queen, you better be at Drag Wars tonight, Queen. His drag name was Demanda attention. Because we'd say, hey, what's your drag name? He goes, Demanda attention. And we would crack up about it. And he used to say, he used to say, and you know what? I need a sidekick. He's all, and that's you. You're gonna be my sidekick. And I said, what's my and I said, what's my name? He's all, your name's gonna be Shanita Job. And then after he would walk around the restaurant and he'd come back and he'd come up to me and he'd be like, come on, Shanita. And he'd walk back to the restaurant. At the restaurant we worked at, it was like, say there's booths here and a row of booths here, and there was just a big long like middle section to walk through down the middle. And he's like, he still is actually a part of this fashion model agency. He was a model when he was real younger. He's like 10 or 15 years older than me, but when he was younger he had a he had he was a model. And so he would walk down the catwalk, and he used to walk down the middle of the restaurant and he'd do his little walk all like super confident, and then he'd get to the end and he'd stop, and then he'd stop, and then he'd go, and then he'd whip his neck around and go back the other way. We used to have a ball. It was the funnest thing, that restaurant that we worked at. It was so fun. But anyways, so we're at the gay bar, right? And he's doing his little Demanda is doing his little show up there, and we're all of us at the restaurant are supporting him, and we're all cheering for him, whatever. Well, anyways, it cuts to the break, or it comes to an end, and so it's me and Marcos who are really good friends, and we're hanging out, and we're like, let's go to the dance floor. If you've ever been to VS West in Scottsdale, it's a small gay bar, small venue, but a lot of people, it gets really busy there, and a lot of people are there. So we go out to the dance floor, say, let's go to the dance floor, and we're just whatever, sitting there with our beers or whatever, dancing, and this one girl comes up to me and Marcos, and she comes up and she looks at me and she goes, we bump into each other, whatever. And she looks at me, and I could tell already. I was like, wow, this girl's super fine. She's super, super fine. And you wouldn't be surprised. You'd be surprised that you would be actually surprised how many single women go to a gay bar. I would actually recommend you go to a gay bar if you're a single man to find a girlfriend, because all the girls go with their gay friends, right? They go with their gay best friend or gay bestie or gayby or whatever they call them, and they go and they hang out and they support their gay friends, and and they dance and hang out with them. So there's a lot of single chicks, a lot of single hot chicks who actually, there's a lot of hot chicks there. And so, anyways, this girl, she looks at me. I look at her. I look at my friend Marcos. I say, I'm like, damn, this girl's super fine, right? Well, anyways, she looks at me and she looks and she goes, she comes up, she talks to me and she goes, wow, it's too bad you're gay. And I looked at my friend Marcos and he looked at me and I said, I said, well, I said, well, we like the Jay and Silent Bob thing. We're like, we's ain't gay, lady. Okay. I told her, I was, oh, I'm not gay. And she goes, oh, you're not gay? I said, no, I'm not gay. And she goes, well, if you're not gay, then prove it to me. And I said, I looked at Margot and said, what the heck? She goes, if you're not gay, then kiss me right now. And I'm like, oh man, here's the problem. I was actually dating a girl at the time, and I look at Marcos, and actually, she worked with us at the restaurant. She just wasn't in attendance with us at this restaurant. She happened to be gone or not attending us that night, or not in attendance with us. She looks at me, and I look at Marcos, and he knows that I have a girlfriend, and I'm like, damn. So I said, and she goes like this, and she actually goes, she goes in to go in to kiss me, and she goes, and I stop her like this. I grab her like this by her arms. I just, and she opens her eyes. She says, I said, I can't kiss you. And she said, why not? I said, because I have a girlfriend. And she goes, you know what? I know you're lying. She's like, I knew you were a faggot. And Marco, I'm sitting there crushed. And I look at Marcos, and Marcos, he just puts his hand on my shoulder. He goes, man, that sucks, bro. I said, yeah, I know it sucks. So I'm sitting there and I was like, ow, wow. She straight called me the F word, the members only F word. And I said, okay, whatever. So I went to my girlfriend's house, right? My girlfriend goes, she goes, so where were you at tonight? And I said, oh, I went out with Marcos. And she goes, where'd you guys go? I said, to BS West. And she looks like, she goes, BS West. She says, what the hell were you doing at BS West? I said, well, we just went to go check out the Drag Wars or whatever that, what's his name's putting on. And she's all, and you didn't leave after? I said, no, we just hung out. We're just, fuck it. And she goes, oh no. She's like, that is just disgusting. She broke up with me. Yeah. She broke up with me because of that. Because I went out. Our relationship, I will say, was kind of already riding the rails. We were already getting towards the end of our relationship. But I think she broke up with me because she thought I was, you know, at a gay bar, which I was. But the irony was that a girl wanted to kiss me, a super hot chick wanted to kiss me in the gay bar. I rejected her. She called me a faggot only to go home and tell my girlfriend that I went out to the bar, who broke up with me because she thought I was cheating on her with gay men. So that is the kind of pickle you can get in. I thought it was really, really ridiculous, but it was an experience. You know what? Damn it, I regret kissing that fine Latina. She was super hot, but yeah, that was my story of being a straight man in a gay bar. That can happen to you. I actually have a couple other stories of a couple of other fun times with me and my friend Marcos, because we went to a lot of the gay bars after that. After my girlfriend broke up with me, we said, fuck it, we're gonna go BS West all the time when Giles goes. Because that was eye opening to me. There was a lot of hot chicks at the gay bar, a lot of hot single chicks. So if you want to hear any more of those stories, let me know in the comments, and I'll tell you a couple more. But that was my experience. So yeah, just if you're a married couple and you're with another married couple, you probably won't find nothing fun at the gay bar. But if you are a straight man looking for a hot chick, ironically, go to the gay bar. I tell you, you will find some hot chicks there with their gay friends. So